Hello, people, and welcome to episode 30. Here we go. 30 of these episodes. Wafty. Okay, so we are still stuck in the middle. No, we started an episode last month, so I suppose this is part 2. We're playing a little gig down at Number Six Bar for Zaid Joseph. I've got Phil Kerrigan with me. We're up on stage. We're first act on. My brother's headlining the night with his little posse of cover shotters. They don't actually turn up for our set, so we do one to the Vine. Okay, so we have still got... I've got another 4 tracks, and I've got another CHAP TALE, naughty CHAP TALE. Yeah, it's quite a funny one actually. Yeah, so stick around for that. Okay, yeah. So let's get straight into it. Again, we're trying to keep the episodes down a bit, like, because it's a bit long, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So first track up, which would be the 5th song in the set, is Black Blanket, and yeah, it goes a little bit like this. Nice one. Yeah, that was Black Blanket. Special place in my heart for that tune. Yeah, to do with my eyesight and that. Yeah, nice one. So I mean, this place in Camden is like on Inverness Street where the old Good Mixer is, and that. It's a nice little venue, you know what I mean. It's nothing special, but it's all right, you know what I mean. Like he puts the acts on up the back of the venue, and you can walk in, and there's a bar on your right, and then there's all the tables and chairs, and then there's like it's not really a stage. It's just like he sticks his old PA system there, and the acts just come up and that. But yeah, he's a top fella, Zaid. Yeah, met him just through being around Camden and that. And like he always sorts me out with little shows here and there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so sweet. So let's move on to the next track, and that would be Behind the Wheel, which was the 6th song in the set. Okay, sweet. Have a listen to this one. Nice. Yeah, this tune is called Behind the Wheel. Yeah, sweet. And that was Behind the Wheel. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, these little acoustic shows, like I found a couple. I'm going to do another one next month and the month after, because I'm going to split it in two. But yeah, I just thought I'd get a couple of these out before I hit the next major project, which was maybe my last. But well, actually, I'm actually rehearsing once again with a lady called Rosemary Paul and a guy called Robin, who I'm actually going to meet today. Actually, we was meant to go up the Heath with our guitars and that, but we're going to have to find some shelter up the Heath, maybe the bandstand. So, and we're going back to a name that we tried to make a band of, that I've mentioned in past episodes, called the Kites, and we're going to use that again, and we are going to try and do it, you know what I mean? But I'm getting quite in need of gigging, so I'm gonna give Zaid a message and see if I can get a couple of acoustic shows in. So as I was saying, that was Behind the Wheel. Next up is a tune called Devil Woman. So let's get on with it. And yeah, the next song's Devil Woman. Nice.
This tune's called Devil Woman.
Bang, bang. Devil Woman, baby. Yeah, so that was Devil Woman. Okay. So next up, I'm going to give you the CHAP TALE. And this one is all about me, blind git, basically looking for a toilet in the dark in V Festival. And it's quite funny, so you got to have a listen to this one. It's quite funny. So let's have a listen to this CHAP TALE, and then we've got one more track, and that is this short episode over and done with. Yeah, nice one. All right, sweet. Have a listen.
CHAP tales. Don't you wanna hear some CHAP tales?
Hello and welcome to another CHAP TALE. Okay, so I've been thinking about what to tell you, and I come up with this little memory in my head. So me and my wife Angie went to V Festival. I can't exactly remember who played that weekend, but I know that we was on this particular night, we was watching Beyonce, like headlining the main stage. But a band that I love, Ocean Colour Scene, were headlining one of the smaller stages. So we're standing there watching Beyonce, who is amazing. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, Ocean Colour Scene to me is do you know what I mean, where it's at. So I'm standing there and I'm sort of making deals with my missus. All right, we'll do 4 or 5 songs of Beyonce, then we'll skip over to the old tent or whatever it was that Ocean Colour Scene were playing in. And she agreed, so we watched 4 or 5 songs of quite an amazing set by Beyonce, actually. Yeah, put on a right show. But anyway, we skipped over to where Ocean Colour Scene were playing, made it just for Profit in Peace. So I watched the rest of their set until they finished or whatever. Yeah, great. Good night. And then, so we're staying the weekend, we're camping, but obviously where I can't see, we get to stay in the old disabled camping area, which is, well, I wouldn't stay in the main camping area, to tell you the truth. Like, we had to walk past that on the way to our area, and it's just a complete and utter. I mean, if you're 18, it's the greatest thing in the world, but when you're 40 or probably 35 at the time or whatever it was, it's just better to, you know what I mean, go into a nice camping area, security, toilets, everybody's being good people and just going to sleep in their tents. So we went back to the old tent, one of my fishing bivvies that I had. We climb into the old Witchwood fishing bivvy and lay down. And actually, I'll give you a little bit more extra for this story. Yeah, it was funny because when we first got there and we set the tent up and all that, like, and we had bought these blow up beds to make it all nicer. So Angie's gone to the car to get some more stuff, and while she's gone, I've decided to pump up the volume. So anyway, I pumped her bed up nice, stuck it in there with her sleeping bag on it and all that, and then I started to do my own. And I'm sort of like half in the tent, half out of the tent, you know what I mean, with this foot pump thing that I'm using my hands to pump it. And I just, you know what I mean, I beat me and pumped it too much, and it went bang, and so my bed blew up. I was very embarrassed because there's a lot of people around me setting up their tents and all that, and I'm sure they was all having a right laugh at me. I just jumped in the tent and zipped that. And laid the popped bed on the floor as like a ground sheet, and then stuck my sleeping bag on top of it. And yeah, it was not very comfortable, I'll tell you that. I was watching my missus up on this nice pumped up bed, and she's there all sleeping nicely, and I'm laying next to her on this. Oh God, yeah, I actually forgot about that, but that was just a little extra bonus story. But yeah, let's get back to what I was actually going to tell you about. So anyway, yeah, so we see Beyonce, see Ocean Colour Scene, went back to our tent, got in our tent, had a little chat or whatever, and then decided to go to sweep. And yeah, so Angie's fallen asleep, and I'm trying to fall asleep. And anyway, about an hour later or whatever, I've decided I am dying for a piss, a wee, sorry. So I'm laying there and I'm contemplating waking Angie up. I'm like looking at her and I'm thinking, God, she's all nicely asleep, and do you know what I mean? And then I thought about it back like in the daytime where the toilets were from our tent, and I thought, yeah, I can get there. Don't worry, I can get there. So I've climbed out the tent, and I've got this silly head torch with me. I mean, it was good when I used to use it for night fishing and that, but for making a little trip somewhere, it weren't very good. So I've got this light on my head, and then I'm trying to like weave through tents when you can't see, it's just a nightmare. But anyway, so I'm walking through these tents, and then I'm thinking to myself, right, so I'm going in the right direction. So I kept on walking, and then I've walked straight into some metal fence. And I'm like, oh God. And I was like, oh, don't worry. I was like, don't worry. The metal fence was to the right of the toilets. I can remember. Okay, so I carried on like feeling my way down this fence, like, and then after walking quite a little bit, I was thinking, hang about, I've gone, well, do you know what I mean, away from these bloody toilets. And then I was like, look, right, don't worry, I'm going back to my tent. I'll wake Angie up, she'll have to show me where the toilet is. So then I've looked up and I'm like, where the hell is the tent? I was like, oh my God, there's like a sea of tents. And I'm just like, so I've took the torch off my head and I've got it in my hand to try and like look at these tents, whatever. So I've walked into some tents and I thought, yeah, I must be a little bit further forward. So I've walked a bit further forward. So anyway, I've got this torch in my hand and I'm shining it at these tents, and nothing like mine. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just thinking, oh my God. And then all of a sudden, I just felt a hand on my shoulder, and I looked around, it was one of the security guards, and he's like, excuse me, mate, what are you doing? Like, it must have looked really bad, I've got to admit, like. And then I said to the fella, I said, look, I'm not joking, I'm blind. I said, and I thought with this silly torch I'd be able to get out of my tent, go to the toilet and go back to my tent. My missus is asleep in the tent, and I don't know where I am. I'm trying to find my tent, I don't know where I am. He said, all right, mate, don't worry, we'll get you back to your tent. He said, what does your tent look like? And I said, well, it's like it's a fishing bivvy, and it's like green and black. And yeah, he said, right, it's green and black. So he's had a look round, and he said, that I ain't being funny, mate, but most of the tents in this field are green and black. And I was like, oh God. And he's like, is there anything else you can like think of that was near your tent? And then I remembered like when I was doing the old blowing the bed up in the daylight, there was a guy next to us setting up some silly little orange tent that I don't even think he would have fitted in, but I suppose once he's drunk or whatever, he just crawls into it and you know what I mean? I was like, yeah, there's this little orange tent. It's like right next to our tent. It's like, he's like, all right. So he's looking around. He's like, I can't see it. He's like, all right, let's have a little bit of a walk. Hold my arm. So I've held this guy's arm, and like he's weaving me through the tents or whatever. We're looking around for a good 10 minutes or whatever, and I'm thinking, God. And also at this time, I am about to explode with piss. I am about to turn into the wee mountain, like, 'cause I'm dying for the toilet still. And we're looking around, and I'm just like, oh my God, what's going on here? And then he said to me, oh, what's that? Oh. And he's looked over, he said, I can see something orange. He's like, come with me. So we started getting closer and getting closer and getting closer. And then it was weird because there was like some lights in his security hut thing, and it was sort of shining. So I could see the top of this orange tent, and I was like, that is it. My tent is next to that tent. So anyway, we're getting closer. He's like, okay, there's 2 tents next to it. And I was like, look, my tent is a Witchwood fishing bivvy. And it's like the door is on the side rather than the front. So you've got more of a bigger opening door. And he's like, yeah, I can see it. So he took me over to it, and he's like, are you all right now, mate? And I said, thank you so much, mate. And he's walked off back to his office, and I've unzipped the tent and climbed in. Angie's still asleep. I was like, Ange. She's like, what? I was like, I need to go to the toilet, babe, please. Can you take me? She's like, yeah, of course I can. And I was like, I let her take me to the tent. I didn't even tell her at first. I went to the tent, right? And then I went to the toilet, thank God, dying. Thank God. And then we've walked back to our tent, right? I'm holding her arm, whatever. And then I was just like, you don't even know what's just happened, do you? And she's like, what? And I was like, oh my God. I said, I just tried to go to the toilet on my own, so I didn't have to wake you up. And I walked into a fence, then walked about a mile away, and then got lost in the middle of a field of tents. And then the security guard come, and it was just mental. I said, and I've just woke you up. The security guards just walked me back here, and I've just basically unzipped the tent, got in, zipped it back up, and then started waking you up. And she's like, you're lying. And I was like, seriously? And she's like, why didn't you just wake me up, you idiot? And I was like, yeah, maybe I suppose I am a bit of a donk for doing that. Yeah. But yeah, so ended up getting to the toilet just in time, got back to the tent, and yeah, got back in the tent, and Angie fell back to sleep pretty quick. And then I actually ended up falling asleep, yes. And I remember waking up the next day and thinking, God, that is horrible. Yeah, okay. So I hope that you enjoyed that little CHAP TALE, and nice one. I will speak to you soon. Mwah. Sweet. Yeah, that was a night to remember, I'll tell ya. Yeah, all right, sweet. Yeah, so I've got one more track for ya, which is No People No More, which I actually co-writ with Phil. So it's the pair of us playing our tune together. Yeah, so I'm going to get that on for you in a second. Yeah, bit of a shorter episode this month. Which might be better anyway, do you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to look at an episode that's hour and a half long, you know what I mean? But yeah, sweet. So I'm just trying to think if I've forgotten to say anything. No, I think that's all. Yeah, next month I'm going to be doing over 2 parts, another gig that I played in the council building in King's Cross, up in the sky on like the 10th floor or something. But we'll talk about that next month. Yeah, that was another funny night to remember. And yeah, Desi actually came with me on that one. Yeah, so there's John's back in the house. Yeah, so have a listen to No People No More, and that is it for this month. And yeah, thank you for listening, and hope you enjoy. And Sweet. Let's have a listen to No People, No More.
Yeah, this is our last tune, people. Thanks for listening. Nice one. This one's No People, No More.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a great start to tonight's showcase. Please give it up for Mr. John Chapman, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. John Chapman. What a great set.